Alright, welcome back to Squawking 1200. Almost forgot my name. We're cold and dark. We're at Kilo Bravo Delta Lima, Bradley Field. I'm pretty sure I'm oriented because the game is set up, or this gate is set up for jets. So what I do, I go to the map, because I do not like driving through the equipment. So I rotate myself, get rid of this map. Alright, it's a nice early morning here. Going to set up a flight in Pilot2ATC. I'm just going to go to Brainerd Field. So it should be, it's probably just a 15-20 minute flight. So I'm going to go into Pilot2ATC here. I'll bring this up. I'm going to go new, add waypoint, KBDL, enter, waypoint, KHFD, enter, validate. It accepts it. I'm going to do cruise altitude, going kind of southeast, so I'm going to go 3,000. It's not even, I'm barely going to get up to that much altitude. I'll say 3,500. It's that quick of a flight. Ground speed 100, 12 miles, descent rate 500 feet. File. Okay, I gotta connect. There I am. Popped in. Validate. File. Move this off stream. Next thing, we're going to do our cold and dark startup procedure. Ideally, we're going to do our walk around. We're going to inspect the exterior of the plane. Going to get back into the aircraft. Turn my battery on. Get this thing reset. Turn off the avionics. Turn on my beacon light. Beacon light alerts everybody in the surroundings that your aircraft is active. Fuel's good. Let's turn on the fuel pump. I'm going to bring my throttle forward. Fuel pump on. Max 1, 2, 3. That usually is enough to get this thing going. Crack the throttle. Start. Mixture full. Alternator on. Avionics on. I didn't yell clear prop. I should have yelled clear prop with my window open. I checked flight sim economy before I came back on stream, and there was nothing from Bradley to Hartford. So, no flight sim economy. I'm going to go to KHFD Hartford Brainerd. I gotta move my coffee. Don't put it anyplace precarious. Get my pen in case I need to jot down instructions, because I'm really familiar with this airport, and then using the taxi as the guide. I haven't been taking as many notes. So first thing we want to do, we want to listen to the ATIS. Tango.
900 Zulu wind. Wind
Calm.
Visibility more than
10.
Sky conditions 4000 scattered. Temperature 14. Dew point -10. Altimeter 2992. Arriving runways 06, 01, departing runways 06, 01. Advise on initial contact you have Tango.
Alright, get rid of that. Turn back to the ground frequency. So we have information Tango. We're going to check the altimeter. 2992, that's good. Fuel's good. Amps are good. Vacuum. Oil pressure's good. Waiting for the temperature to come up. Check annunciator, that's good. Flight plan is filed. Just going direct. Pretty much I'm going to, with runway 1, I'm probably just going to bank to the right and then turn south. That's my plan. Give this another minute to warm up. I can probably have it warm up on the way to the runway. Plug my headset in.
Well, right there is a good spot here, so they're going to go to runway 6, and I don't want you to block off that thing. What, are you going to some gate other than 21 or 23? In that case, back to the ramp, sorry.
And ground United 494, finally ready to taxi. We have November.
494, Bradley Ground, runway 6, taxi via Sierra Charlie, wind calm, altimeter 2991. It's essentially the same weather.
Okay, we'll pick up the new one, 2991, Sierra Charlie to runway 6. Thank you, United 494.
Alright. Get myself back to my view. Left. Getting good frames. I might turn the reflections back up. I do find the reflections interesting. I got a chance to fly my my friends the new Piper Tri-Pacer. The window reflections were amazing. It's definitely on my list of aircraft to purchase. Alright, so I'm going to call to ground. Cessna 12 Bravo, ready to taxi.
Cessna 12 Bravo, taxi to runway 01 via taxiway Sierra. Hold short runway 01.
Taxi to runway 01 via taxiway Sierra, hold short runway 01, Cessna 12 Bravo.
Alright, let's see. Taxi light on. I'm going to throw the nav lights on for visibility and the strobe lights early morning hours. Release parking brake. Lean for taxi. And 01 is straight out in front of me here. See if it gives us a... Oh, it doesn't give us the hold short here. It should, but that's a little bit of a coding or correction thing. Just going to pretend we got cleared across. Beautiful morning for a sunrise flight here.
Cessna 12 Bravo contact tower on 120.3. Have a nice flight.
Contact tower on 120.3, Cessna 12 Bravo. Just making sure. Sometimes, let me just show you really quick. Sometimes this needs to turn to green, and if it doesn't go green, it may not have heard it correctly. Again, it's one of those things that I've just kind of discovered by using the program more and more.
Tower on 120.3 Cessna 12 Bravo.
Cessna 12 Bravo tower frequency is 120.3.
Yeah, see, that's a readback is weird.
Frequency is 120.3 Cessna 12 Bravo.
12.3. Okay, so it didn't go green. It's going to be fine. 120.3. Okay. So we got taxi light off, landing light on, strobes on, mixture full. We'll go quick run up. Check our magnetos. Right magneto, good. Back to both. Left magneto, little drop. Back to both. Good, temperature's up. And we're ready to go. Cessna 12 Bravo, ready for departure.
Cessna 12 Bravo wings HARTCOM cleared for takeoff. Runway 01. Cleared for takeoff runway 01 Cessna 12 Bravo.
I'm not sure exactly when I get to Hartford exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to request the straight in like visual. Maybe I'll ask for vectors. But this is such a quick flight. Kind of curious on how Pilot2ATC handles it. If it's going to hand me off to Hartford Tower, which
well, right there's a good spot here, shuttle. They're going to go to runway 6, and I don't want you to block off that turn.
Roger.
What are you going to some gate other than
took flight yesterday, got towards the airport, told me they disconnected.
In that case, back to the van. Sorry.
No, that might not be. That could be correct. They probably had you under flight following, and once you get to a certain distance to your destination airport, if it's untowered, they're going to let you finish the flight. Usually, if it's towered, they would hand you off to the other tower. But I think you were trying to fly to another towered airport. Again, one of those things that could be an anomaly in the program for that airport. So I'm going to make my turn to the east and then south. Going to head towards the Connecticut River. Got to keep an eye on. Wait for my departure frequency. Trying to make sure I keep my flight coordinated. Landing light off. Wait. Landing light off. Yeah, if it was an untowered airport, you're under your own control. If it was a towered airport, I would try it again and see if it was a Pilot2ATC issue, or think back if you missed a radio response or callback. Going to make my turn to the south. Yes, I'm not sure. I would have thought I would have heard from Bradley departure, unless Hartford, it sort of is under Bradley control, so it may be the same controller at Bradley because it's small. There's a lot of variables in who controls what. That's where we're going, is right down there. Follow the beautiful Connecticut River. Yeah, I think I'm screwing up a lot in different places, and it really comes down to, from seemingly practicing, seeing where I screwed up, and then trying to correct where I was. Sometimes I found that by backing up to the previous controller, trying to find, I'll scroll through.
Cessna 12 Bravo, contact Bradley, approach on 127.8. Enjoy your morning.
Contact approach on 127.8, Cessna 12 Bravo. I'm just going to wait for my... I'm just about at my filed altitude, so I'm going to hit autopilot altitude lock. Now I'll switch over to the approach. Cessna 12 Bravo at 3,500 level. See, that didn't go through. Cessna 12 Bravo, 3,500.
Cessna 12 Bravo, you are off course. Turn right heading 210 to return to course.
Alright, so it needs me to correct. No. That's not what I want. Come on, heading bug. Work with me. So it is controlling me a little bit more. I gotta pause this thing. 210.
Cessna 12 Bravo, turn right heading 210.
Heading 210, Cessna 12 Bravo.
Okay. Didn't realize, I thought I was on own navigation, but apparently I still need to, I thought I was on own navigation at this point, but because it's such a short flight, I might be under controlled. I don't, that's not in the flight plan. Basically, it's via direct. Let's check the, okay, so it's probably wanted me to follow just the GPS the whole way. Probably wanted me to go, make a hard turn to the right and get on this track and then straight down. When it discovered me off, it's making me correct. Yeah, because I'm a self-taught pilot, basically watching YouTube and trying to understand the videos. Again, you're trying to learn so many different areas of flying. Like, my airspeed's a little bit low. I feel like I should already be descending. Yeah, no, I believe you have to control your descent in the general aviation aircraft. I think in a jet you're going to program your flight management system. And so if you're in Sky Vector and you find your, say we're using the RNAV approach, if you plug in your waypoints, so you're going to come into Docet B to Breen, your pattern, when you hit Docet B, you should be at about 3,500. You descend to 2,500 by the time you hit Breen. That will keep you on your glide slope. So that's how I've been doing it. There is a way you can capture the ILS if you get the ILS. This is not an ILS approach, it's a GPS approach. But if you get the ILS approach, then the autopilot should take over part of the descent until you see the runway. That's my understanding of the system. So I'm way up high. I'm going to give a call in here and say field in sight. Cessna 12 Bravo, field in sight. See what the
Cessna 12 Bravo, contact tower on 119.6. Have a good one.
contact tower on 119.6. Cessna 12 Bravo. Cessna 12 Bravo, field in sight.
Cessna 12 Bravo, Roger, Windstar.com, cleared to land runway 02.
Cleared to land 02, Cessna 12 Bravo. See, I don't know where 02 is. I'm going to look at the airport diagram. Okay, 02, I got to go over the airport and then land to the north. So I'm going to start my descent. I'm going to use the GPS, or the autopilot, to control it. I'm going to go down here. I'm kind of come back up this way. So I need to lose a bunch of altitude. So I'm going to go landing light on, fuel pump on, seatbelt switches, undercarriage. This is a fixed wing aircraft, or a fixed gear aircraft, so I don't have to wait for 3 in the green with my finger on the landing gear knob. Alright, back to my dashboard. Yeah, it's all practice. Like I've only started experimenting with the ILS. I successfully did it once, but it's on my list of things to practice because it is seems like it's a standard landing procedure is to be on the ILS, and it seems like having the 2 lines to keep you on the glide slope makes it even better, even easier. So usually on my Hartford approach, I'm going to go up here. There's a spot where the highway is kind of parallel to the river, somewhere over here, and then come into the runway. I'm a little high for the traffic pattern altitude. I'm just going to say I'm on the downwind anyway. See what it says. Cessna 12 Bravo on downwind, runway 02.
Cessna 12 Bravo, call turning final for runway 02.
I don't know if I have to say that. No, it's in white. Extended. So it's before this white building. I need to be making my turn. We're at or below pattern altitude. I'm going to hit the altitude hold button. Going to throw in the first notch of flaps. Yeah, I think my turn comes in like right here. That's the spot. I need way more throttle. Gonna stall. So I'm gonna turn my base leg. Whoa. Cessna 1-2 Bravo turning final.
Cessna 1-2 Bravo winds ARCOM cleared to land runway 02.
Cleared to land 02 Cessna 1-2 Bravo. In the white arc, hit my second notch of flaps. Little wide here. Pretty good on the airspeed. Trim down. Pulling a bunch of power. Still a little bit high. Trying to keep the this part of the runway in the same spot in the windshield. Just let it get bigger. Feel a little slight gust, it felt like, to the right. Over the threshold, power out. Looking down the runway. Ground out. Flare. Flare right there. Stall warning. Fly the nose wheel down.
1-2 Bravo exit runway when able.
I'm going to go to the next one. So Pilot2ATC seems to be working perfectly for this flight. Cross my line here and stop. Cessna 1-2 Bravo, clear of active. Clean up the aircraft, fuel pump off. Taxi light on, landing light off. Yes, trying to find the order of everything. That's been I think that's one of the challenges.
Clear of active Cessna 1-2 Bravo.
See, I said clear of active and it didn't
Cessna 1-2 Bravo.
change me to ground. Here we go.
Brainerd, contact ground on 121.6. Enjoy your morning.
Contact ground on 121.6 Cessna 1-2 Bravo. Contacting ground. Cessna 1-2 Bravo, taxi to general aviation parking. Let's see, I gotta find parking. Taxi to general aviation. See what it says.
Cessna 1-2 Bravo, request taxi to general aviation ramp.
Cessna 12 Bravo, sorry. No general aviation parking available at this airport.
So I'm going to go to the gate.
Cessna 12 Bravo, request taxi to the gate.
Cessna 12 Bravo, taxi to gate Golf 11 at pilot discretion.
Taxi to gate Golf 11 at pilot discretion, Cessna 12 Bravo.
So I'm just going to move over to the gate. I don't really know where Gulf 1 is, but just a small airport. It's pretty much exclusively general aviation, so I think I can park anywhere. Looking at the that's a weird glitch, because when I called final, it wasn't like a super short final. It was pretty, like I would call normal. I was slightly wide. I had to swing back a little bit to the left, then line myself up. So I think it was pretty much a pretty normal approach. Could have been a little bit short, but it shouldn't have jumped on you. Maybe we'll have to go back and watch the film. But I would consider that a successful flight. I had background chatter. I had interaction with ATC. It kind of kept me engaged, on my toes. You know, basically it was like 2 Class Charlie airports. I don't even know if Hartford is a Class Charlie. It's pretty small. So but it did have a tower. That's why I picked it. Hopefully that kind of helps get you, at least you've seen a successful flight. And usually what I've found myself is if I miss a read back, typically they come into green. Once in a while, like the whites don't seem like they have to be read back. Yellows are readbacks. And from what I see, sometimes they turn green, sometimes they don't. But I think as long as I have a positive affirmation on the readback from Pilot2ATC, it seems like it's good. So the first video this morning, I did a little bit of pattern work, called for final, touch and go, or turning final, touch and go, for 1 lap, and then turning final for a full stop landing on the second. This one I went from Bradley, made a right-hand turn, went up to my filed pattern out, my filed altitude of 3,500. Seems like when it's direct, I should have followed it direct with the GPS. I should have just basically hit the autopilot, GPS, done. To me, direct is like make a right-hand turn and go south. But I guess if you're going to go direct, it's direct via the GPS. Awesome. I'm going to take off and go do a couple other things that I got on my to-do list this morning. You know, if you guys are going out, have fun. If you're going on vacation, enjoy. You know, Pilot2ATC is going to be my thing to do for the foreseeable future. I'm going to continue on trying to improve upon my interaction with it. I'm going to go through and probably retrain some of the grammars and see if I can fine-tune how it interacts with my voice. It's on the list. Fair for you to envy. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you on the stream sometime.